Angelica here, and today is Saturday school. Excuse the lighting and stuff like that. I just got in the bed and started watching a movie, but I wanted to just come on here really quickly for a quick Saturday school lesson. One of the things that you're going to learn how to do, everything is not going to be learned um, necessarily in the traditional way, and things don't work out sometimes in the traditional way. Yes, we respect tradition, and they're wonderful things when it comes to memories of something. But just understand that every situation is not going to work for everyone the same. I had been having some issues with um, registration, and it kind of made me think that, there's a time for everything. And, um, I've just been doing a lot of thinking, and I won't say what the result may be until I've made the okay to make a decision. But it's evident that sometimes things are just going to go in a different direction when it comes to your education, and you're going to learn what many people call life lessons. It doesn't mean that you have to be set up in a way that's difficult or anything like that, but you will learn a lot of life lessons. One of the things you have to understand is, where are you in life? How is your financial stability? How is your environment? What is it that you're willing to invest in that you feel is going to get you to what you consider a career and what you consider a dream come true, and those things coming together? And what route is best for you to take? Those are the things that you really need to ask yourself, because every traditional route may not be the route for you. Everybody will tell you to do certain things and to borrow to get to where you want to be. And it does take money to make money. It does, but it doesn't mean that you have to sell your whole life to get there. There are other ways to get there. There are other ways to pay for getting there. When my mom decided to go back to school, she decided to go back to school after joining the military, and or in a uniform service. The way that she does that is that they paid for her education. And you think to yourself, there are scholarships, there are um, other ways to do stuff. Now, mind you, my mother had already had 2 degrees. I mean, she didn't have to get another degree. But when she decided to go to school for the third time, she, her education was paid for. When she got her second degree, she worked as she went to school. She worked at night every weekend and stuff like that. Like, she thought smart about getting her education, though she chose the traditional route. She was blessed with some grants and stuff like that. And you have to ask yourself, with the way that the state of student loans is going, are they going to be paid? I mean, we can be hopeful, but is it worth it? Can I get to a different place where I feel like I will be financially stable? It is very irritating to tell people, get this education, and then not provide a reasonable way for a person to get something. I mean, unfortunately, it seems like the education system is a bit institutionalized. And far as I know, institutions sometimes are not the best route if all you're doing is you're tied to debt for it. And you're going to be stuck in that system, and you're basically placed in a box. I'm not saying this to bash education. I think it's very important. My ancestors fought and died so that I could have it, and I've gotten it twice myself. So that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that a system will take a dream and try to twist it a different way. And you have got to find a way, not so much to beat a system, but to navigate a way that is going to be beneficial for both of you, not just benefiting one system where you're pretty much begging, oh, please get us out of debt. We can't afford to get out of debt because we don't have jobs that will help us get there. And it just kind of made me come to some realizations of why I'm having some issues with registration because, something is telling me something different. And I haven't come to a official decision yet, but I'm saying that decisions have to be made. And sometimes you have to learn about not only these other decisions, but certain things that you won't take within your own personal life as well. Like in my 20s, I'm happily older. But in my 20s, I was like, there were certain things that I could take and that I had energy for than I do in my 30s. Like there's just certain things that I just cannot tolerate. And you have to come to those realizations. So today's Saturday school is think. Really think about the grand scope of things before you jump into anything. Feelings change. Use your head. Will this path get me to where I need to be? Or will I end up in the same situation I was in before? Something to think about. We will get into these books. I'm so excited. There's a book. I'm not quite ready to introduce it yet, but there's this book that I'm really excited about reading and sharing with you all because we are book dessert. But for this Saturday school, I just want you to really think about, where you want to go with your career and where you want to go with your education. I never want you to be afraid of anything because getting an education is never a waste. But how you get there also makes a difference. That in itself you have to be wise for. Parents need to be wise if they want their children to get an education to make sure that there's a platform for them to get there. If you can't do it, make sure that there's a platform in scholarships for them to get there. Suggest and encourage trade schools so that they can have jobs while trying to get there. Encouraging companies and businesses to help pay for education as the trade-off for working in a place for a certain amount of time, because the next generation is tired. We're tired. Losing hope and faith in these systems, which you shouldn't have them anyway. You got to have, for me personally, faith in God is for me. But like, I looking for a handout, that's just looking for some relief. That just seems so far and few between, Wake up, people. Wake up. My generation and the generation behind me are tired. So there has to be a better way, or you will not get the professionals you want. Your schools will close because nobody wants to go. Wake up. Have a blessed one. Hope you learned something. Think. Bye.